So you know how those of us in favor of not tearing down statues of every single less than perfect person have been saying that this was a bad idea because there's no limiting principle? Because once you start allowing mobs or weirdo academics on Twitter to dictate who in history is fit to be in public spaces, that eventually the standard was going to be so fluid that you'd have the preservation of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial or even the Washington Monument up for debate. Those ended up happening, of course. And the left always goes, no, 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 that's not what we're doing. And then give it a month, the Overton window has moved on Twitter, and those same people who said nothing to see here act like nothing ever happened. Well, here's the next statue that could be in peril. Yes, Master Yoda. I wish I were kidding. So here's the tea. A few years ago, several organizations operating in the space of social justice and the arts and science started using the acronym JEDI as a more buzzy alternative to DEI initiatives. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is the sort of corporate and higher education spin on critical race theory you might have seen forced upon you at work or school. Now, they say it's not CRT, and it technically isn't. Its trainings and programs are informed by the claims of CRT, which views racism as systemic. So anyways, in an effort to make Maoist struggle sessions more fun and relatable, I guess, the J has been getting added on to make it spell out Jedi. And who doesn't want to be a Jedi, right? Well, fun time is over, because 5 social justice activists armed with advanced degrees took to the digital pages of the popular old science magazine Scientific American to argue for why Star Wars and the fictional Jedi Order is inappropriate for any association with social justice causes. If you ever wondered how many PhDs does it take to screw in a light bulb, well, now you have an answer. So they write, although they're ostensibly heroes within the Star Wars universe, the Jedi are inappropriate symbols for justice work. They are a religious order of intergalactic police monks prone to white saviorism and toxically masculine approaches to conflict resolution, including violent duels with phallic lightsabers, gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks. The Jedi are also an exclusionary cult, where membership to which is partly predicated on the possession of heightened psychic and physical capabilities. Don't worry, this does get worse, so I'm just going to read just a little bit more. Strikingly, force-wielding talents are narratively explained in Star Wars not merely in spiritual terms, but also in ableist and eugenic ones. Star Wars arguably conflates alienness with non-whiteness, often seeming to rely on racist stereotypes when depicting non-human species. What's more, the bodies and voices centered in Star Wars, with few exceptions, historically have been those of white men. How imaginative. And here's the kicker. They go on to claim a notable segment of the Star Wars fandom has aggressively advocated the recentering of white men in the franchise, with some equating recent casting decisions with white genocide. So much of what I have just read can be translated as left-wing entertainment outlets were able to embed 5 to 10 hateful tweets from anonymous accounts online, and then write articles about them that say some fans are angry about insert whatever narrative they need to fulfill. You see it all the time, and it's basically what keeps entertainment sites afloat, both on the left and the right, just sourcing a few awful tweets from cowards hiding behind avatars, and boom, you've got your article. And it stirs up controversy, anger, and polarization from each side of the equation. So congratulations to the writers of this article for watching the prequel trilogy. It's not a secret. The Jedi failed to live up to their mantle, which was rhetorically handed down to Star Wars fans by Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 4 in 1977's A New Hope, when he said the Jedi Knights were guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 showed the world that by the end, the Jedi Order was none of those things. That's exactly why they were wiped out in the movies, and the prophecy of balancing the Force more or less required they be knocked out of power. Because as an organization, they'd become detached from both the will of the Force and the best interests of the people of the galaxy. They would speak about justice and protecting the weak and never using the force for attack, but they opted to become soldiers in a civil war to defend a political regime and the status quo of democracy instead of just the light side of the force.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
But that doesn't have anything to do with what a Jedi is. The Jedi way and the Jedi Order are not the same thing. This is where you can see how the prudes who write these kind of articles are only capable of identifying institutional imperfections, which is incredibly easy, but never grapple with the ideas that led to those institutions being created. It's why they can't control their movement's narrative and can't distinguish between the words of Thomas Jefferson that he chose with intention to be in the Declaration of Independence versus his actions as an individual. It's why the National Archives Racism Task Force pushed to have trigger warnings added to the Archives Rotunda where people can view the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. People are wicked sinners with flaws. Therefore, their ideas must be wicked too, is basically how this goes. Don't get mad about it. Honestly, just pity people who think like this. People who think that Jedi is a problematic or harmful association for somewhat well-intentioned work. And I'm talking about DEI initiatives here. I say that because while I greatly dislike what DEI programs do in practice, which is whip people into a frenzy about identity and victim classifications, you should presumably think your work is heroic. But in order for these people at the top of the far-left academia food chain to have cultural power, they have to push for a world without mythic heroes who inspire everyday people like you and me. They have to denigrate everything from faith to family to popular fiction to make sure that we follow no one and nothing except for them, the credentialed people, the experts. Remember when Fauci said that an attack on me is an attack on science? It's all part of the same thing. Not social justice, just social control. Tearing down your heroes is a part of that process. Don't let them. I assume since you're still watching this video, you liked it, so please do give it a like, leave a comment, and maybe even subscribe to the channel. We have new videos every few days. So if you want to hate tweet me or say nice things about me and all of my opinions, I'm also on Twitter at Steven_Kent89. I look forward to chatting. And by the way, I have a book coming out that touches on a lot of this subject matter. It's called How the Force Can Fix the World, Lessons on Life, Liberty, and Happiness from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. And yes, it's about the fun to be found in Star Wars politics. It comes out November 9th, and you can go ahead and pre-order a hard copy or the audiobook if that's your thing right now. So thanks for watching.